Hello. Welcome to my page. This is Save for Rainy Days. We're all about saving money, and we're all about how not to waste money. And we've been talking over the last few weeks to Tally about loads of different things. We've been having a chat about fashion and how to sort of save money. And as I said, more prominently, I would say, how not to waste money in fashion. Now, I'm just going to invite her in with us. See if she's there. Are we added? So there we go. Yes, just waiting. So we have talked about female body shapes. We've talked about everybody's undertones and colourings. And today we're going to talk about male shapes. Good morning to you, Tally. How are you doing?
I'm very good, lovely. How are you? You good?
Yes, I'm very well. Thank you very much. I think we should just crack right on because there was quite a lot to get through today, isn't there?
Yes.
Excellent. So I think the first thing I'd like to ask, and this probably applies to females as well as males, it's difficult to sort of determine your shape versus the size that you are, because they're very different things, aren't they?
They are indeed. And I think this is where fashion comes into play, because we're told what shapes, or where this season you must wear this. And basically to save yourselves money and the aggro, and also how you feel about yourself, is to really know your shape and to be encouraged to do that. Because the thing is with fashion, you know, at certain times, for a woman, you've got to have the, I know you have an hourglass, but that is the quintessential hourglass in the 50s, the 60s, the Sophie Loren look, and then it became the wafer thin in the sort of 80s, 90s, and the same with guys, and I think, forget that. What do you have? What do you have, and how can you feel good about yourself, and trying to squeeze yourself or starve yourself, God forbid, or do anything drastic to be something else rather than what you are? And I suppose that's what we're kind of talking about, is to do that for chaps as well. But you're right, size and your shape are two different things.
Yeah. Okay. So as with females, we looked at the different female shapes. There are different male shapes. Maybe we could sort of have a little chat about each one of those.
So you won't be surprised. There's 5 women's shapes. There's 5 men's shapes. We're equal in that, at least. But yeah, it kind of crosses over. So for example, we do have the triangle. So I'll start with the triangle, which we all know about. So we discussed that with the ladies, which is a simple thing, is the triangle. So you're wider around your waist and you're slimmer up top. So that's one for guys. And basically, if we're thinking about that, we want to then add a little bit of bulk on the shoulders. So when I'm saying that, I'm talking about suit jackets. It's about, again, like we always say, wear what you want. Life's too short, but if you want to look in proportion, if you want to feel sort of making the most of what you have in the wardrobe that you have, is to think about that the men's jacket should have a little bit of shoulder, a little bit of lift, single breasted, so it comes down there. So it gives you a kind of a middle. And so maybe your lapels will be slimmer as well. So it's kind of bringing you into the center of what you are, your tummy and everything that goes out. So again,
balancing it up.
It is about balancing it up. Again, with trousers, in men, don't make them, there's sort of like the leggings or the skinny jeans. Again, that could then bring emphasis to the bottom half and what you want to do. So like a nice slim fit, a little V-neck T-shirt, but not too drastic. Again, it's just about balance, and you can do these, which I'll go over with every chat. Really, it's the little pocket handkerchief, it's the little details on things, So you can have a little bit of horizontal stripes. I know we're talking about patterns next week, but you could have a little stripe up the top, say if you had a T-shirt. But not everywhere else. Otherwise, you're just going to be wide, and that's what we want to avoid.
Okay, so that's the triangle. Is there? Do you have maybe one famous person we could compare it to, so that people are unsure they've got someone to compare it to?
Yes, we have Michael McIntyre, the comedian, and David Williams. So if you look at them in pictures, you will see that their shape, that everything is a little bit centered in the middle. So their suits are, you'll probably see them, are single-breasted. Again, avoid double-breasted. double-breasted is just going to emphasize the middle. And what we want to do, like we said about ladies, you know, we don't want to do that. We want to have high-waisted trousers. We want to have a belt, not for necessarily the chaps, you know, a little bit. You want to give yourself a center is what.
Okay, so that one's a triangle. What's the next one?
Inverted triangle, exactly like the lady. So exactly what it said is like this, and then we're going to do that. So that means the chaps with sort of a larger up top and go slim at the waist. And I think this is a shape that's been really pushed on men to have, is that, oh, you've got to look like that. And when we're talking, you know, it's all about the shoulders, a slimmer waist. It's very athletic. It's quite bodybuilder.
Yeah, you know, is it almost like a sort of swimmer's body, that kind of look?
Yes, very much so. And it's kind of really bodybuilder. It's all bulky. So again, we want to do the reverse. You know, we want to bring into the waist and not bulky shoulders. Again, single-breasted. We want to bring into the waist. And again, we don't want to put skinny jeans on that, because then your legs will look very slim against your bulky top. So you want slim fitted trousers. You know, vertical stripes are great. Again, little details, but it's all about the waist, you know, and making the most of your sort of athletic shape, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and famous people like that would be The Rock, Van Diesel, Ronaldo. So if you look at those men, of course, those men, The Rock he's huge, and Ronaldo is slim, but they've still got that kind of like swimmer bodies, like you said.
Same sort of shape.
So yes, that's body. Yeah.
Perfect. So that's a triangle and inverted triangle. What else we got?
We've got the oval, which we have the circle for the ladies, and we have an oval for the gentlemen. And basically, that is the is the center, and that is where you hold all your weight.
Right.
That's the bulk of your weight. So again, we want to diversify weight. So we basically want to, again, proportion, we're talking. So, you know, we don't want tight polo tops or tight t-shirts. You want to give a little bit of oomph if you're getting a jacket on the shoulders, but then a little bit out on the waist so it's not tight. Again, the worst double-breasted jackets, forget it. This is not to style. Again, it will emphasize the bulk. If you want to do that, same with a bomber jacket. If you are a chap his girth is round your tummy, wearing a bomber jacket is just going to emphasize that.
Right.
So if it's really puffy, you know, sometimes you get very slim bomber jackets. But we want to, again, you know, change things up. So a fitted shirt is really important, and I know every chap will know this. Even if you're working in an office, if you want to wear a nice suit jacket with a pair of shorts in the summer, a wedding, you know, it's about the fit. And I think it's really, I'm not saying it's not important on women, but I think because men have either got shirts, jackets, or your vests or whatever, which doesn't give you any shape, because you can change your shape with a jacket or a waistcoat. Waistcoats are great. Anything to do, so a waistcoat on an oval shape is great. Changes like a white collar, your collar could be bigger, and you could have vertical stripes here, so a white collar, stripes down, a waistcoat, you know, things. Perfect. Take away.
Excellent. And do we have anyone we can compare that to?
Well, we're talking James Corden, Elton John, those type of chaps. And if you see them and what they're wearing too, I mean, you know, they put it off again. It's all about the fit, really. This is I think a shape where you know, get a nice fitted shirt, but not too tight. It's got to be a bit of a bigger collar, but fitted on you. Starts getting a bit, you know, and no skinny jeans. The thing would be wear is a loose trouser, maybe a pleat down the side. So it brings out balance to your shape.
Perfect. So that's 3 down, 2 to go. What's next?
Rectangle, which I am, and I realise my husband's rectangle too. Hooray! We said 2 rectangles together make a square. I don't know what that means. But again, a rectangle is basically, we are square in the waist, square in the chest, and we're just a rectangle. There's no kind of shape. So again, we have to change the eye. So again, a little bit of oomph on the shoulders, single-breasted, lapels are slim, everything coming to the waist, maybe a V-neck, everything to come down into the waist area. You know, again, slim fitted trousers. I know it sounds all the same, doesn't it? But it's not. You know, again, you can have a little bit of sort of horizontal shape up the top. like the triangle, but not too much on the waist, because we just want to give an illusion of different things. So that can be glasses, pocket watches. Oh, I must mention the oval shape. Braces are good.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because it sort of draws the eye straight down. It draws
the eye like the waistcoat. So it's that kind of thing. Again, a waistcoat's not bad on a rectangle either. Again, it's diversifying. It's bringing you in. So this looks bulky, your shoulders and a shirt, and then you know, it gives you the shape like a kind of little corset that for men. So yeah, that's what we're talking for rectangles.
Perfect. And who can we compare a rectangle to?
Well, we have lots of famous rectangles. We have David Beckham, we have Justin Timberlake, and we have Harry Styles.
Perfect, perfect. So almost a kind of, could be quite a preppy look, would suit a kind of rectangle.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, if we're talking sort of British shapes, really, we're talking a lot of ovals, and we're talking a lot of rectangles. Really, that's the kind of majority of shape. But again, you know, fashion changes. All, you've got to be bulky, you've got to be this, and you know, the shape we're going to go for next can do that. Yeah.
So we've got one more to go.
Well, this is called the trapezoid, which sounds like a sci-fi character in a film. And what this basically is, it's kind of similar to the rectangle, as in sort of the waist is slim, but it starts, the chest and the chest area starts to get a little bigger, and the shoulders not as obvious as the triangle. The triangle's really obvious. You know, if you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's that real bulk frame, and then, you know, six-pack, tiny waist. Same with Ronaldo. This is a little bit. They still got the kind of the bulk. They're still kind of rectangle in the chest, but then it starts to ease out the chest and the shoulders. Yeah, very athletic trends look great on that. Very sporty looks look great on that. Again, single-breasted. Oh no, sorry, double-breasted looks great.
Right.
Again, you know, because it's that balanced on both sides, that it really doesn't add the bulk. On a triangle, it could be too much because you're so bulky, and then you become like some sort of 1930s cartoon. But in a trapezoid, double-breasted is really, really lovely. And again, you know, sort of polar necks, those kind of shapes, you can really show, you know, like a polo t-shirt. So you can show that athletic look as well. Not baggy clothes on the bottoms. Again, you know, sometimes chaps' shapes and their legs are very different. Yeah. You know, and so you want to give that proportion. So yeah.
And have we got anyone we can compare it to?
Well, we do. We have Daniel Craig. Now, I don't know if Daniel Craig is by birth a trapezoid, but he's worked so hard on, if you look at him being James Bond, he's really worked hard on his shoulders and here. So if you look at him, he's like, I wonder what he is naturally. It'd be interesting, but I think he's really worked that, and that's something about body shapes changing. And David Gandy as well. So again, a little bit more sporty, not too much as triangle, that bodybuilder look, but a little bit more athletic looking, but slim. Yeah.
I think when you see Daniel Craig in films before he was Bond, he is a bit more sort of straight up and down, I think.
Yeah, and that's what I mean about, you can, you know, chaps, you know, there's, I mean, you go to sometimes a gym and you can see some people working out, and then you can see those people, men and women, like, I just want to do this section, and I want to, and it's all about the top. And again, that's about fashion, and again, you can change that too. But yeah, Daniel Craig is a really good example of someone who's really worked hard.
Yeah,
I
used to go to a gym, and one of the trainers there, his friend used to train Daniel Craig. So I think it was quite full on, quite hard work for him. Because I guess in that sort of respect, when it comes to muscle, you can change your shape. But it's more about what you are naturally, and changing the eye and the focus to what the person looking at you looks at.
Yeah, and you know, he has to get in a pair of trunks coming out of the water. So, you know, they want to see James Bond as what the ideal man would be, I suppose. And the same with the women in, you know, it's all that.
That's it.
But yeah, he worked very hard to get that shape, I think.
Amazing. So that is men's shapes. That's men's shapes. Next week, we're going to have a look at different patterns and how that affects the eye, and what you should and shouldn't wear, or perhaps how to wear what you do want to wear, but how to sort of enhance what you look like.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think if everyone hopefully has been listening, or you just joined us, you know, think about your undertones, the shape of your body, and these little tips, and then wear patterns. There's certain patterns, and we'll talk about them next week. There's certain things that never, ever change.
Yeah.
You know, for example, horizontal. If you're going to wear anything horizontal, you are going to add bulk. If you do vertical, you're going to slim. I mean, that's never going to change unless our eyes go a bit bizarre. But that's not going to change. But there's also different patterns that will never, ever change. They'll always be in. And designers broadly change the styles and the shape. But if you can work out your shape, your undertones, and what patterns look great on you, you can really change up your wardrobe, and you can really create your own style rather than following someone else.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you ever so much, Tally. And thank you for those that have been watching. I'm going to pop this onto my IGTV if you have missed any. But as we say, next week, we're going to be back with patterns and perhaps a little recap on different colours and how to change your focus as well.
Yeah, and I think like you're trying to do, Vicky, it's like saving money and making the most of what you've got. I think, you know, each season we go, oh, I need this, I need that, and I mean, it's really, you know, Gucci, for example, usually do four shows, they're only doing 2, and
Right.
That's how things are changing. It's like, well, I don't need a different jacket every year. If I find the right jacket for my shape, then that will keep me going. If it's well made, and it's about making the choices and saving money in the long run.
That's it. And it's about sort of making the most of buying good quality things as opposed to sort of that fast fashion.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we all need our hit, don't we? We all need to go, oh my God, I'll get that T-shirt and I'll get that. But where did that come from? Who made it? You know, is those other questions. But also, you know, what can I make things that last for my shape? And of course, our bodies change all the time as we get older. But, you know, it's if you won't get your undertones won't change.
No.
And your shape will change unless you've had a weight loss or gain, you know. So, you know, it's making the most of what you have at the moment.
Absolutely. So we'll be back next week, Saturday, 10:30, talking all about patterns and how not to waste money in fashion. But thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you, Tally.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And like I say, we'll be back next week. Hope to see you there. But whatever you do, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.